Like I had the classic shit happen to me. Like I've been shoved in lockers. I've had food dumped on me.
And it's based just on what you look like.
It's based on what I look like, the music I listen to, because I grew up, even though I'm a 2000s baby, I grew up liking stuff like Dropkick Murphys, Rancid, AFI, Kiss, Wasp, all these
Real bands.
all these real bands. And also even some modern like metal, some like bands that are actually influenced by those bands. And people would isolate me, they would ridicule me, they would tell other people, like even new people that came to our school, because you got to think I was in like small town fucking Texas growing up, so they would look at new kids and be like, oh, don't pay attention to him, he's a nobody, or people would label me as the school shooter or something like that.
See, and you were like a generation beyond me, so it's like that's another thing too, that like you, because in my high school experience, social media was barely a thing, very barely. So I mean, like I deal with stupid shit while I'm like at school, but when I'm at home, I'm doing my own fucking thing. Like I mean, I'd text my fucking friends and stuff. Like we could text on flip phones and shit, but like you didn't have all this internet and fucking Facebook and Snapchat where like I would be bombarded with fucking harassment from just anybody who could search my name, you know. So it's like, and then also too with like Columbine. When Columbine happened, dude, like that was like culture shock for us. Like, what do you mean they went in and shut up a bunch of fucking students, and then they were students? It's like, so like you were in a situation to where like not only did you not fit in, but then they had this new tagline that they could put on people that were odd or weird or quiet, that like, oh, he's probably gonna kill us all. It's like, motherfucker, he's probably the nicest fucking motherfucker in here, and you're judging him because he wears black.
That was actually what led me. I don't talk about this a lot because it's not something that I like to talk about, but I was arrested back in high school, like 2018, August of 2018, I believe it was. This kid did not, on the bus, he did not like the way that I looked, and he got into a little conflict with me. And then he had somehow told the administrators that I was going to slit his throat and drink his blood.
Oh my god!
And after that,
because you're a Satanist, because you wear that shit.
Yeah, they looked at me. They took one look at me and they were like, "Oh, okay, this is true. He's gonna do that." And like I was so scared shitless. Like when I got arrested, I was in holding, by the way, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but holding and jail are two completely different fucking things, which I didn't even know about that. But all I was thinking, like, I'm in a fucking orange jumpsuit in a holding cell.
Right, and you hear that fucking door close behind you, you're like, holy shit, this is exactly what they tell you it is.
I was only there for one night.
Were you in there by yourself?
Yeah, I was.
Thank God.
Yeah,
because intake when you're with somebody else is terrifying.
Yeah, especially because, like, I was terrified of having long hair.
Well, right, then there you too. Not only first time in jail, but you obviously don't fit in there either.
Yeah, and I was like, this ruined my life. I was like thinking, how is this going to ruin my life because of just the way that I look?
Right.
And as soon as I was done, and the charges were dropped, obviously, because, you know.
But the trauma, I mean, like, trauma, literally, you're sitting there trying to reflect on who you are as a person, and, like, your choices of your clothing is getting you into this shit.
It wasn't even the clothing. I would say it was more or less my attitude. Because I'll be honest, it set me straight. Like, because I was always Mr. like bad attitude, like fuck you.
Well, I'm sure, right? Somebody wants to talk shit on you, like fuck you, dude.
Talk shit on me. Guess what?
It makes you a calloused motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know?
I'll hold up my middle finger to you. But like even nowadays, like I will be the nicest person I can be. And some people do judge me the way that I look nowadays. And once they get to know me, they're like, you're just a teddy bear in black leather and chains. That's all you are. Well,
especially if they've seen you fucking pulling out with your fucking Taylor Swift on, they'd be like, "Oh wait, was I wrong about that guy?"
It's funny because
it's like
there's so many things about me. Like when you look at me and you're just like, "This is what I think of you," and then when you get to know me, it's a whole nother side of me.
Well, and this is why it's not racism, but it's the exact same thing. Yeah. It's a stereotype. You're profiling somebody. Right, you're basing everything that you're going on just on a surface level thing, you know, and that's why I try to explain to people, like, I know exactly what the fuck that feels like. You know, like I said, I was a minority the whole time, growing up and being the only one that, like thought the way that I did and did the ways. It wasn't until I started like openly telling people that I smoked weed and stuff that like people were able to look past the quiet kid that wears black and has holes in his fucking ears and comes in with safety pins in his fucking clothes. It's like, so like, it wasn't until then that they were like, oh, okay, well, maybe you are cool, and then people started to, kind of open up. But it's like people literally had no idea anything about me, and they would have assumed that I would have killed their fucking cat, dude, if they would have left me with it. It's like, that's still being, I mean, it's the same thing as racism. It's the same fucking thing because, again, you didn't do anything, but it caught you up in this bullshit based on somebody else's opinion of you. And it's no different if you were black and somebody accused you and they believed them because you were black. It's like, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
We all have dealt with it.
it was also like sometimes I would open up to people who I thought were my friends. So one of my biggest things is I talk about mental health a lot because that's a prominent thing with me. Like up here in my mind is a dark fucking place, and it hurts a
Well,
lot.
and
If I'm stuck inside of here, it's bad.
you as an artist have learned too that expressing it too avoids it from being trapped, and if you could help somebody by just maybe talking about what you've learned.
And even it sucks because I'm more prominent now because I was recently just trapped inside of my head. Like I'm just now getting out of it. I've been trapped inside of my head for months. Like when I get locked inside of my head, it's bad. Like I do not come out of it. I become a whole different person. I become the person that does things that I would never normally do, and then I also become this person that is just a darker person.
Right.
And uh it took like a falling out with a friend to realize, okay, I need to get out of here. Otherwise, it's going to ruin my whole fucking life.
Right. Yeah, because it literally infects everything. Like if you're not okay in your own head and in your own mind, then I mean, it's like a virus. It infects every relationship, every position you have with people. And so did it happen because of the place you were in, or did this like?
I would say so because it was like I told you, I do things that I don't normally do, and with this friend, I'm not gonna say their name or anything, just out of respect for them. But I didn't like hurt this person like physically or like commit like any heinous crime, but like it was more or less like a falling out due to mistrust. Like I had I like did something that was like
betrayed their trust a little bit.
Betrayed their
you don't
trust.
have to get into detail.
But like after that had happened, I realized, oh fuck, I fucked up this friendship, and this was my best friend. So like I had fucked up this friendship like completely, and they had blocked me and everything, and I was like, okay, what do I need to do? So I started therapy. I recently started that, and then I started looking at my music. I'm like, okay, you know what? Music has always helped me. Let's do that. And then I finally got out of my head and realized that, all right, I need to take a whole new approach on life. Otherwise, I'm going to destroy every single relationship that I've ever been in or that I'm even in at the moment. Whether that be friendship, or marriage
You
with my
just don't know,
wife
even
and stuff.
business or career opportunities.
Even
I mean, like this thing, could be, something that you just don't know how much farther down the road it could affect you if you don't kind of get an idea right now how to handle it.
right.
And we all have our shit, but having a plan together and having an idea of what can save you from it.
Yeah, it does suck that I put myself in a situation that I could have easily avoided. That's what it took to you know realize wake me up essentially. It sucks that's what happened. Like it took something drastic to happen for me to finally kick my ass into gear essentially.
Well, sometimes that's what it takes, unfortunately, and it's like, a lot of things, unfortunately, nobody's really worried about a solution until something drastic happens, or the whole house of cards kind of comes down, like that's kind of where they say, like, rock bottom's kind of like the best place to be. Essentially, you can only go up. But, like, at least now kind of being able to kind of recognize your own patterns. Because I'll do the same thing. Like, man, I deal with so much stress, as you can imagine. I mean, like, we pay fucking 3 rents. That's just rent, not
Right.
talking about, feeding people and just being able to live. And it's like it's a lot of stress and it's a lot to juggle. And like 9 times out of 10, man, like there's days when I'm like, dude, I'm fucking done. I don't have. I'd rather go back to fucking Walmart, than
Right.
deal with, the pressure. And it's never the clients. It's never really that. It's just like, I mean, like just the pressure of just having to be able to produce and
Hmm.
be creative, and then just you have no choice but to give them your best every single time you walk through the door. You don't have a
Right.
choice. They're paying you, like, they're not paying you less today because you're tired. They're not paying you less because you had a shit day yesterday. Like, they're paying you your hourly rate. So it's like you have to give them that and then some. Like, my goal, no matter what I'm doing, is to exceed your expectations. Like if I know that your bar is set here, I'm gonna fucking blow it out of the water as best as I can. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I never strive to, I never aim low with anything. So it's like to be able to maintain that level of consistency and performing at your fucking best. And then also too, it's not like they can just drop their arm off and I can just dive into their piece. Like I also
Right.
have to entertain them, and a lot of times they're relying on me to not just give them a cool piece, but sometimes they rely on me to be their therapist while they're there.
Right.
And it's nice because sometimes I can check myself out of my own bullshit and I can kind of fucking be an outlet for somebody else, and I can work on my art while I'm there. And it's like, so there's a lot of things that it does benefit, but you have
Right.
to get yourself to the fucking door, So it's like, if I'm not in the right state of mind, I won't go to that shop. I
Hmm.
refuse to even walk in the door of that place if I'm not in the right state of mind, because
Uh-huh.
I refuse to take any bit of negativity into there. I refuse to go in there if I'm not able to give whoever's on the other side of that door my best, even if it's just me and the time I'm going to spend there. So it's like just having a level of commitment and saying, listen, I care enough about myself or the relationships I'm in or my career that I'm going to be able to check myself and say, hey, listen, I'm falling down the wrong path, and I'm going to stop myself. I need to switch lanes.
Right.
Maybe I need to do this. And that's where, like with the sauna, I mean, that's for a number of things: stress, weight loss, all of this stuff. I mean, like I'm telling you what, like I'll just sit in there for 20, 30 minutes, dude, and it's just like it's like a sanctuary, man. I'll sweat it out, I'll go up here and talk about it, dude. Like just having the right things in place, and that's where, like, so I'm trying to open this up too to other people that are kind of in the same lane, if like, you know, you need anything that's going to benefit your mental health, it's options,
Yeah.
so it's like if this isn't working for you, maybe this will. So like maybe if you're got writer's block or you can't perform a fucking song, maybe come over and bang on the fucking drums, or maybe sit in the sauna for an hour, or maybe, like even just coming up here and talking, like trying to build a network of people that are essentially got the same goals in mind. We're trying to
Right.
expand our art, we're trying to better the community, and we're trying to bring more entertainment into the area. We create a fucking team, to where we're all kind of fueling the same fire essentially, and it's like that's what you kind of need, a support system to where like say, hey, listen, man, like dude, I got fucking a whole week's worth of artwork and I can't bring myself to pick up the pencil. I sit down and talk to you for 5 minutes. You're like, dude, I can't fucking do it either. I've been trying to fucking record this for
Yeah.
all week and I can't get it.
Yeah.
And
And
it's like, oh shit, dude, we can laugh about the struggles and how bad we think we suck, and then we'll fucking walk away and we'll do our shit.